Okay, we're back. Now, let's finish this tutorial up. The next thing we're going to do is animate the arms and give the body a little bit of motion with each step. So it won't look like a dull looking box that's just moving with two legs on it. We're going to give it a kind of a little bit of life to this robot. Okay, now let's move these arms to where they're animated too. Okay, click on the left arm. Go to the first cue point. Okay, add a keyframe. And then go to the next cue point. And then add a keyframe. Kind of move it a little bit. And then we'll move it. So usually, yeah, about like that. See? Okay. Go to that cue point, add a keyframe. You know, I'll tell you what, I'm going to redo that because something didn't look right. Yeah. Let's delete that key point. Okay, let's see. The body doesn't start moving until right there. So we'll add a key point for the arm right there. And then we'll slide it like so to where it's in the middle. Twist it a little bit. Slide it to the right on the mouse. Like so. Let's see. Yeah, something's not right with the body. That body, let's delete that keyframe. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that's better. I guess I didn't realize I put a keyframe right there. I didn't mean to do that. So, like I said, I'm showing you mistakes too, and I'm showing you how to correct them. So, uh, anyway, don't be ashamed or try to hide any of your mistakes because we all learn from it. Okay. Okay, let's keep going with the same arm. And go to that cue point, add a keyframe. With the right mouse button, move it up. There you go, like that. Oh, see what we did? I did it again. I forgot to add my keyframe. Move that back. Now let's add that keyframe. Now let's move up on the mouse and turn it downwards like that. Now let's see. There we go. Now let's move to the next cue point. Add a keyframe. And then we'll move that arm. And this time we're going to grab it and right click on the mouse, and then we're going to drag it down, upward, like that. Okay. Now to the next key point, add a keyframe, and then pull it down. Alright, and move to the next key point, add a keyframe, move it to the middle where the leg is at, and then pull it down, turn it where it's swinging to the back. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're looking good, coming along nicely. And move to the next key point, add a keyframe, pull up to straighten it up. And then now, let's move to the next keyframe. I'm sorry, key point, and let's add a keyframe. Move it to the middle of the leg, even with the leg. And then we're going to pull up. Let's make sure. Yeah. Okay, now move to the next keyframe. Key point, I'm sorry. And then add a keyframe. Pull down, like so. Okay. We're going to move not to this one, but to this key point. We're going to add a keyframe. Then we're going to move it like to the middle. And move it downward, like so. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're looking good, coming along nicely. Okay, now go to the next key point, keyframe, and then drag it up, straighten up the arm. Now to the next key point, and then we'll add a keyframe. Do nothing. Go to the next, add a key point, and do nothing. Okay? Alright. Now, let's go back to the beginning. How are you looking? Going a little really fast here. Okay, now we'll go to the first key point right here. And then we're going to click on the right arm. Add a key. Whoops, we gotta jiggle the slider a little bit. Add a keyframe. And then we're going to grab that right arm, click right button on the mouse, and then move it forward. Now look at the other arm and see which way it's swinging. Okay. We'll move to that key point, add a keyframe, and then we're going to pull up like so, and then move to the next key point, keyframe, and then we're going to drag it down, straighten it up. Okay, both arms should be straight down in between each walk, each step. Okay, slide to the next key point, add a keyframe, and then we'll move forward a little bit to the center. Now look at the position of the left arm. So it's swinging forward. We're going to swing it backwards. So, okay. Now move to the next key point. Add a keyframe. And then let's pull upwards on the mouse button, on the mouse, like so. Now let's move to the next key point. Okay. Move it forward. Add a keyframe. Move it forward. Okay, like so. Alright, so that arm is swinging backwards to the back, so we're going to swing this one to the front, like so. And then move to the next key point, keyframe, and then drag it down, so. Let's pull this arm in a little bit. I'm going to do it like that. Just make sure we got these arms where they need to be. Okay, let's see. Let's move this arm backwards a little bit. Like so. Okay. Okay. Now let's move to the next key point. Arm is going to be swinging forward, so this one is going to be swinging backwards. So add a keyframe. Let's see. We don't need to move it forward a little bit, so we're just going to swing it back. Like so. And then move to the next keyframe. Key point. And now we're going to add a keyframe and we're going to move it forward a little bit. And then drag it up to straighten it down. Straighten it up. Okay. Now to the next keyframe. Well, wait a minute. Not the next. I'm going to go to this keyframe. So the arm is swinging to the back. So, not keyframe, I'm sorry, key point. You have to forgive me, I get a little confused on what I'm doing sometimes. Okay, alright, so we'll move arm forward a little bit. Okay, and we're going to swing it to the front. Like so. Okay, then to the next key point, add a keyframe. Then drag it down. Like that. Okay, now the final steps for that arm. So move to the next key point. Like so. Add a keyframe. Do nothing. Add a keyframe. And do nothing. Okay. Now, let's move back to the beginning. Okay. Now let's play it and see what it looks like. You can see at the beginning of it, it had a little slowness to it. And that's because of the first keyframe that we used at the very beginning to put the robot together. We're going to eliminate the function of that keyframe by grabbing the beginning of the slider and dragging it to that key point. Okay? Let's see. Well, that's really not supposed to happen, so. Yeah. Maybe we should take it to this. Right here. Yeah. Well, let's do it right here. No, that's quite not working. So, whoops. I'll move that back right there. Okay. Let's see. I'll play it. Okay, it made its first few steps and then stopped. Now at the beginning of it, kind of like figure out why it's doing that. Now, let's see. We'll move that right here. And now what we're going to do, we're going to click on each part. And we're going to grab that very first one at the 0, and we'll move it right here. There. 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 And that's the left, that's the right arm, by the way. Alright, and right there. Let's see if that fixes it. Huh. Seems like it's not fixing it. So we'll get right there on that leg there. We'll move it back to that very first keyframe. Alright, let's see if we can fix it by moving it back into position. Alright. Like that. Now let's play it and see. There we go. That's better. See, I'm sticking with you. You know, I make mistakes. We all do. But I'm showing you that I'm correcting my mistakes. Okay. Sometimes whenever you put a character together with a keyframe at the very beginning, there will be some times where you'll actually have to move those to a certain point to fix something. Or you can go back to that cue point and click whatever that needs to be fixed, and then click on it on that keyframe, and then you can move that piece back into position. That usually fixes it. So look at that again. Now you notice how when the robot walks, he's moving a little bit slow because I have the keyframes kind of spread apart. You can alter the keyframes by clicking on each pieces of the robot, and you can move them closer together if you want to make it move faster. But remember to click on every piece for its keyframe to move it. Okay, and you also may have to move your cue points in those positions too. But the robot seems a little bit dull. Don't have enough life into them. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on the body, okay, and then we're going to move to that first keyframe we made for it. And if you notice, well, let's go to the second one. Now move it to the second one, and you notice he's taking his first step with the right leg. So we want to tilt the body to the left, because when he's lifting that right leg up, that part of the body is being lifted. So we'll move to the next one, and since there's no keyframe there or anything, so we're not going to do anything there. We're going to move to the next. Let's see. Yeah, and the body straightens itself up because at that keyframe it just moves itself back in its original position. So you really don't have to do nothing on that next keyframe. Okay, now move to this keyframe here. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, that keyframe there. Yeah, and then we're going to drag the robot to the right. Tilt it to the right. Let's see. Okay, and then we're going to the next one. He's taking another right step. Tilt them to the left. Go down to the next one. Right there. So we'll have to add a keyframe. Let's see. And then we'll put it like that. Okay, we don't have to do nothing there. There, we have to add a keyframe to that one. Like so. Don't have to do nothing to that one, so go to the next one. Keyframe to that one. That. So. And then we don't have to do nothing to those. Now, let's go back to the very beginning. And let's play it. Let's play that again. Let's close this one and just open up the timeline in the toolbar. Move it back to the beginning. There's, you see that arm right there? Let's back up. Right there. Let's move that arm closer inwards like that at that keyframe. Straighten that arm up a little bit. Alright, let's see. Anything else? Let's see. You just go back and fix anything that needs to be fixed at those keyframes. Go to each keyframe, see if anyone or any of them need to be adjusted. Like that. See. Let's see. We're going to add a keyframe right there. Okay, and then let's see. That arm moves forward a little bit. Well, we don't want that. It's not ready to take off yet, so we're going to move it back to the center of that leg. Now let's see. A little bit too far. Let's do that like that. That looks good. They don't have to be perfect. As long as that arm's not taking off before the body starts moving. Now let's play it back. It's not the greatest in the world. It can be a little it can stand a little tinkering with each keyframe. You can just go back to each keyframe and adjust it to your likings and to where it looks good, where there is no flaws in the animation. This right here is just basically giving you an idea how to lay out your keyframes for each movement and marking the keyframes to keep track of the keyframes with cue points. That's what I usually like to do. Okay. Yeah, everything looks good. Okay. Uh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to render the final steps. This is the final step. I'm going to render it, and then we're going to take a break from there, and then I'll show you the render and what it looks like. Okay, I'll be right back.